everyone, it's Justine the Growing Gardener. As you can see, I'm not in the garden today. I'm actually out in my bee yard, and I just split this hive from this hive over here, so I'm going to introduce a new queen. So this hive, as you can see, it overwintered really well, and the hive is actually doing great. There's a big population of bees in the hive, so I split it off yesterday, so this hive is now queenless. So I'm just going to show you how I've introduced a new queen. So I hope you can see, but I have the new queen right here. I don't know if you can see her there. But so she's in this little queen cage, and there's a couple of tending bees with her. So on one end, on this end, there's a cork. So I'm just going to remove the cork and then put the candy stopper that comes in with it. And basically what happens is the attending bees eat the candy from the inside, while the bees in the hive eat the candy from the outside. And eventually, after a few days, the queen will be let loose into the hive. This just gives the bees enough time to get used to the queen and basically not attack her. It just kind of acclimatizes the bees to her scent over time instead of just putting her in, which can increase the likelihood of her being rejected by the hive and killed. So this is what the candy looks like. So it's like a little rubber stopper. In the middle there's candy. And the beekeeper once told me that if you cut this in half, it's actually better because it takes them a really long time to cut through this whole thing. So if you cut it in half, it just allows them to eat through it quicker. So I'm just going to open the hive here. It's nice to see that so many bees stayed behind, because I split this hive and I just shook a bunch of nurse bees, and the old bees will return to the old hive and the young bees will stay in this one. So now I'm just going to take my new queen and I'm going to place her in between two frames and kind of wedge it in. And you want to make sure that you leave the candy up. That way, if any of the attending bees die in the cage, she's still able to escape. And I always like to put the new queen on top of the hive just to see how the bees react to her. If they're very aggressive, you know that there's probably another queen in there, but because this hive was split yesterday, I know the old queen is definitely in that hive. They shouldn't be that aggressive towards her. I don't see a ton of aggression, so I think this is going to be okay, but I'm going to leave her in the cage and let the bees eat the queen or the bee candy to get her out, just so that it's a slow release instead of directly releasing her. So as you can see, the candy up, which is what you want. And the opening of the cage is facing the middle of the hive. And I just put the queen cage in the middle of the brood here that I have. And then I'm going to put some pollen patties on top and some sugar water as well. So just to finish it off, I put a pollen patty on the inside, and then I have a bucket of sugar water, a 1-to-1 ratio on top, just to keep the bees well fed. The dandelions are just starting to come out here, so just to make sure that they have enough food and for that queen to start laying. And then I also put a bucket of sugar water on this hive because I really don't want them to rob the smaller hive. So this way they have their own supply of sugar water and they won't go to the smaller hive to get any more. So I installed the queen cage on Wednesday. It's Friday today. And I just took a peek inside and it looks like she has been let out of her cage. So I'm just going to open the hive and see if I can find her and if she's doing okay. So you can see the queen is just there. And the bees have accepted her, which is great. Very happy with how this went. I'm gonna put this back and just let them chill. So overall, this hive looks really good. The queen introduction went as well as I could have hoped. So I'm gonna leave this hive for about a week now, and I'll check back to see if the queen is laying. But overall, I have high hopes for this hive, and hopefully they're able to grow really quickly. I'll post an update in a couple weeks. I hope you get out into your garden this week, and I'll talk to you soon.